What's going on YouTube? My name's Tom. Welcome back to Modern Day Musing. And this channel is all about growing up or living in the modern day and dealing with the opportunities and obstacles we face, and how musing, in my opinion, is a solution to that. Deep reflection, internally and then externally, and emotionally and logically, to figure out who you are and what you should be doing, to self-actualize and to give something back. Anyways, there's an intro, holy. I want to talk about education, the education system, because I'm at my university right now visiting some friends. I came back. There's the beach, which is really cool, that we have on campus. It's a great dynamic we have here of both some nature, the ability to go for a swim in the warmer months, and the resources that a normal university would have. So I really like that. I think in the modern day, it's a huge question. How do we teach people and how do we raise people in the education system? So growing up when you're younger, I think it's pretty straightforward, and it's been pretty optimized with teaching math skills, English skills. But I think it's the critical thinking in the upper years and more just teaching more practical knowledge that we need to work on in the modern day. Because it seems to me that you grow up and you get to about grade 11 or 12, and you are asked this question, what's next? And you are not prepared to answer that question. And that creates huge anxiety and just an abundance of things that can go wrong. And if we just have maybe little tweaks to what we are teaching and how we are teaching, I think we can really change that outcome. I think that's why so many people are so anxious and so feel so maybe depressed or angry, because they feel like they've squandered an opportunity, or they haven't done the right thing. And it starts really by teaching those practical courses about how to use the resources you have. So that would be maybe a credit card, or how to operate a household, or how to grow up, or adult, if you will, with things like nutrition, cooking. So not just what to cook, but how to cook, and what's the best way. And then other skills to find out what you're good at. So don't just teach people or make people write essays or do equations. Open them up to things like how to build something, or how to make a website. So they're open up to an array, and they can see and kind of develop their themselves and get a glance into who they are, because when you're that age, you don't know. So because of that fact that in adolescence your brain is still developing, you don't really know who you are, teach them psychology, so they're starting to understand the complexity that is a human, and that'll help them maybe gain some insight to themselves and others in the world around them, why things happen, and who they are, if they're more outgoing, if they're more introverted and maybe like to think, or if they're more dynamic and creative. All these things will help you maybe, so that you don't just do something such as post-secondary education because, oh, I'll make a lot of money, or you feel the stress or the need to. And furthermore, or I guess a bit of a digression, but still kind of on point, you don't have to go to university or college, because there are other options. Or maybe changing the different types of post-secondary. And you don't have to become a physician or a physicist. You could become a welder, because that's still productive. That's ultimately what you should be doing, finding something that you're engaged in and that's productive in some sort of way. And by productive, I mean is of benefit to society and not just yourself, because we're social animals. So you can't just be doing things that are self-beneficial. That would be selfish. You do need to give back, and I would say, because you are living, the reality that you have was someone else's dream, whether it be a building, or a wheel, or a motor, a cell phone like I'm filming this on right now. That reality for you was someone else's dream, innovation. So because of that, I believe in reciprocity, And I believe that is a fundamental of capitalism, that is so good. Giving things of equal value. And you can do that better if you're engaged. So if you've chosen the right path for yourself. So I think it's on high schools and universities. And so the high school has to help you with making that decision and giving you those different courses like I just talked about. But the university needs to teach you in a maybe a better way that's more engaging too. Not just giving information so that you regurgitate it on a test. That you do need that. You can't get around that fact for some things. You just need to learn theory and show that you know that. But on the flip side, you need I think a dialogue and a back and forth, or more creative, more of your own avenue to express in that context that is the class that you're in. That really helps. The best classes for me are the classes where there's some banter, there's some back and forth, there's some personal, I feel like I'm able to add my touch to it, the human element, where you aren't just doing a generic test. You're able to add your own thing, your own personal touch to it. And you could say that's with any written test, because you get to write and express yourself, but it's still in the context of those theories. So with mine, maybe just imploring kids and getting the most out of people. Like, here's this test, go, and here's this knowledge, here's this all you know, but also let me see something more. Let me see you add something to it. So I think university needs not just slides, writing down slides for a class. Have maybe one class like that and another class that's a bit more open. And you just learned something, let's talk about it. So maybe university's too rushed as well. That's what I'm thinking right now on the spot. Maybe the class, seems very rushed to me. Even though it's 4 years, the classes themselves I'm talking about. So again, this is just my beginnings on this topic. And then also there's a counter argument, which I think it's a Mark Twain quote. I don't let my schooling get in the way of my education. So maybe what I'm talking about, you could argue, is something that you have to do on your own, finding your passion, your purpose. That is a bit of something, a responsibility you need to do on your own. But I think if you amalgamate the two of learning, knowledge building, and self-building together, I think it's a lot more engaging and a lot more productive. So in university, and I'll just talk about this, I think this is I'm kind of looping back to high school here. If you teach those courses about psychology in particular and philosophy, about human nature and your own emotions and stuff like that, and how you can make bad decisions if you're in a bad state, that'll help in university if you've kind of made the right choice to allow for a better situation. Because once you get in university, the beauty and, again, the beast is that you have so much liberty, so much freedom to do pretty much whatever you want. And if you don't seize that opportunity, you can turn it into a real nightmare. Because there's so many ways now, even let's just say with a credit card in Amazon, you can get into a problem, or with a substance, or with just laziness, which could be, again, a result of not being engaged enough. So I just think let's open this conversation on education, guys. I just thought while I'm here at school, I might as well talk about it. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on your experience in the education system and what you like and do not like about it. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below, and I'll do a follow-up video to this eventually. Yeah, have a great day, guys, and let's continue this muse movement.